If your concealer is still creasing even after following every tutorial under the sun, then this video might help. I can't wait to show you how to stop your concealer from creasing using a super simple technique. So if you're ready, let's begin. There's basically two reasons why a concealer can crease. One, because the concealer itself moves, and second, because there's dry cracks in your skin making the concealer settle in them. I'm going to start prepping my skin with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. You can use any moisturizer that you have. And soon after this is when you're going to be using a sunscreen. I have both dryness and fine lines, and if I don't prep my skin, my concealer can crease under my eyes and in my smile lines. For an intense hydration and to smooth out everything around my eyes, I'm going to be using the Tatcha Silk Peony Melting Eye Cream. This is going to take care of all that dry skin around your eyes, so when you apply that concealer, it's going to settle on your skin beautifully. I'm also going to use it in my smile lines. Now, this next step is where the magic happens. We usually use a primer and then makeup. Instead of using any primer, I'm going to start with an eyeshadow primer. This is the Party Proof Eye Primer by ColourPop, who also happen to be the sponsor of this video. So I'd like to take a moment to thank ColourPop for partnering with me. And I couldn't ask for a better partner because, as you guys know, I use so many of their products in every single video. I love this brand so much. And I'm using the shade Caramel. This is lightly tinted, as you can see. I'm going to apply it around my eyes and also in my smile lines. But when I apply it in my smile lines, I push the skin out with my tongue. That way it completely fills in those fine lines. This primer is rightly called Party Proof because it's going to last you all day and night, and it is crease proof. It's going to lock in your makeup and will not allow it to move. When I blend this under my eyes, I like to look up so it gets into those fine lines while I'm blending it. And I like to again push my skin out while I'm blending around my smile lines. And I like to blend it with my finger because our bodies are warm, so they melt the product and help to blend seamlessly. So this step will stop the concealer from moving or settling in those fine lines. Then, to take care of the dry cracks in the skin, I'm going to be using a hydrating primer. This is the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Primer, again from ColourPop. I'm going to first use this where I have a lot of dryness, and then I'm going to use it on the rest of my face. This has a lightweight hydrating formula that refreshes and preps the skin. It's infused with hyaluronic acid and coconut water to support hydration. This has such a unique formula. When you first apply it, it glides on so smooth on your skin. It gives you that silky, smooth, hydrated canvas. And when it starts to dry down, it's going to give you that tacky feel to it. So when you apply a foundation or concealer over this, it's going to cling on to your primer and your skin and will not move. I'm going to use this all over my face, including in areas where I use the eyeshadow primer first. So basically, you're double priming in areas where your concealer tends to crease. First, you're filling in all those lines and making sure whatever you apply over it doesn't move. And then you're using a hydrating primer to take care of all those dry patches. Next up is the foundation, and when I apply foundation, I'm not going to be using it under my eyes because I'll be using a concealer there. And try to avoid layering up too much because more product leads to more creasing. I'm going to be using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is in the shade Medium Dark 125N. I like this formula. It's not too thick, but at the same time, it gives you good coverage. So while you have the coverage, your skin doesn't look cakey. I'm going to apply it to the center of my face and blend it out with a damp sponge. This foundation has over 30 shades to choose from, and when you go up on ColourPop's website, they have a very easy tool that you can use to pick the right shade for you. I love that it gives that beautiful glow and a skin-like finish. It's a hyaluronic hydrating foundation formulated with fruit extracts to enhance the look of skin, and that's why you get that beautiful glow. And of course, it's insanely hydrating. And with the residue that's left on the sponge, I'm going to bring it all the way down to my neck to even out everything. I haven't applied the foundation under my eyes, so I'm going to be using a concealer. Before you conceal under your eyes, if you observe your dark circles, the darkest parts are going to be in the innermost corner and the outer corner. And that's where you should be applying your concealer. And I'm going to be using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer, again in the shade 125N, to go hand in hand with the foundation that I just used. And nice thing is you don't find very many fine lines in the corners. It's mostly in the center. So while blending out the concealer, first I'm going to look up so I stretch all those fine lines. And second, I'm going to blend it in a way that I don't deposit much product on the fine lines. This concealer itself has a very creamy, cushiony formula that offers full coverage without making it look cakey. So it gives you a fresh, natural look that lasts all day. It's super blendable and it's oil-free and dermatologist tested. Although we've prepped our skin really well, there is a chance if you sweat too much, your concealer might still move. So to prevent it from settling in those lines and creasing, I'm going to lightly set it with a powder. But not any powder. I'm going to be using a finely milled powder. The one that I absolutely love is from Bare Minerals. It's the Mineral Veil. And I'm loving these pointed powder puffs. This one's from LH Cosmetics. These help to very easily get in the corners and set everything. So make sure you remove all the creases and then set with powder. Because once you set with powder, it's locked. So in case you're wondering why your concealer is still creased after setting with powder, then maybe you haven't removed the creases before setting it with powder. And observe carefully again, I look up while setting under my eyes and I push the skin out in my smile lines before I set it. For the same reason that you don't want to set over a creased concealer. And then with a large powder brush, I'm going to take very little powder to set the rest of my face. The base makeup is now done. You can complete the rest of your face like you usually do. To sculpt my face, I'm going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin The Contour Book Volume 3, starting with this bronzer to bring back some warmth into my face. I usually use a bronzer on my cheekbones and in my forehead because that's where the sun hits me and I like that sun-kissed look. And then I'm going to be also using this blush. After this, I'm going to finish the rest of my face off camera. Basically, I'm just going to do my brows, add a mascara and a lipstick. And then I'm going to finish and lock everything with a setting spray. The one that I love and use is the Benefit Professional. And here's the finished look. You can see how beautifully that makeup sits on my face. It's not creasing in any of my fine lines. I'd love to hear your feedback if you're going to try this method. So try it, come back and comment and let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Check out all the ColourPop Pretty Fresh products that I used linked down below in the description box. I love you guys so much and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye guys.